Hey, RECS scholars and parents, I've been getting a lot of questions lately about the New York State test. So I wanted to take a few minutes to address those questions with you and make sure that everyone's feeling good about the test, which will be Thursday, April 22nd, which is Earth Day, first thing in the morning. So let's get right to it. First question I've been getting is, why do we have a state test? We're in the middle of a global pandemic. We're reckoning with systemic racism across our country. We are just getting back to online learning. We just reopened 4 days a week. So what the heck do we have to do a state test for tomorrow on Thursday? So here's the reason. There is a federal mandate. So the Federal Education Department, which is the highest authorizing body of all schools, says that every school in the United States must test students in math and ELA in all grades 3 through 8 and one time in high school. They also say we must test students in science in grades 4th, 8th, and one time in high school. So this is a federal law. It's called the Every Student Succeeds Act. Then New York State, so top level of regulation is the federal government, and then New York State has to follow what the federal government says, but then can even add more laws. So New York State asked the federal government to skip the test this year. They said, listen, we've got a lot going on. Let's just skip the test altogether, just like last year. The federal government said, no way. They said it doesn't have to be the same test that it's always been, but you must give a test. The good news is they said the test won't hurt states, won't hurt schools, won't hurt teachers, won't hurt kids. New York State took that information and decided to make the test way, way shorter. So they cut it from 2 days down to 1 day. They cut it from multiple choice and writing or constructed response down to just writing, and took out all of these extra questions that they're just testing for the future anyway. So this is the most slimmed down, most bare bones version of the New York State test that has existed since this specific test came out back in 2008. What did I, Ms. Doyle, try? Unfortunately, I can't really try much. I don't have any say in the matter because federal government's the top, then New York State, then the New York State Charter Schools Office, which adds a lot of layers too. And New York State Charter Schools Office said, give the test for better or for worse. So me as the principal, I just have to do what I have to do and give the test. But there's good news. The test has a lot of value for individual students. A lot of times that value gets overlooked because we are worried about the implications of the test on charter renewal and on state funding and that kind of thing. But the test gives us results that we can use, gives us reports, gives us a picture of what you know and what you have been learning over the course of this pandemic. So some folks have been out of school for a year. Some folks have been really killing it, busting, really working hard on their work for the year. So we want to see that. This test will give us an idea about what each student knows and needs to learn. Other good news, it won't impact your grade or your ability to pass 6th, 7th, or 8th grade in any way. We won't even get the reports or the scores until probably August. So it's nothing that impacts this year at all. It does impact, it does give us a chance to plan for instruction for each individual student specifically for the year ahead. This year, it's even more important than it ever has been because this pandemic has put everybody at different levels. So this test helps us help you. But wait, what about online students? Don't they have to take this test? Unfortunately, no. There's no reliable way to give the test to students who are at home. So those students don't need to take the test. That is unfortunate. I wish that everybody could take the test because I'd love to get this data on every kid. We'll just have one less piece of information for those students than we will on students here at school who are going to take the test. So we'll have to do a little bit of extra digging next year for the students who were not tested this year. Whoops. You will earn Dress Down Friday, April 23rd, just for taking this test. I'm also working with your teachers to figure out a way to thank you for participating in this test. We know that it doesn't feel good to sit down and have to take a test for some of you when you just came back to school 4 days a week. So we get it. It stinks. We know it. But I want to make ways, we all want to make a way to reward you for doing this hard work. So here's what we need. Just relax, do your best. New York State wants to know what you at RACS, what our students in this city know and can do, and we've got to show them. We want New York State to see RACS scholars shine, not just this year, but every year. You've practiced, you're ready. In fact, you've probably seen really similar passages and questions to the actual passages and questions you'll see today. All you're doing today is reading passages and answering questions. Shouldn't take very long. I expect it to take about 90 minutes or less, so anywhere between an hour and a half for each student. And all you need to do is just relax, do your best, and complete the test to the best of your ability. Like I said, we'll use this information to plan your instructional program for next year. So even though it's not the best case scenario, even though it's something that we are forced to do by the people that send the money down the line, let's do it, let's get it done, and let's get back to learning. Thanks so much. Good luck.